Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel Bookworm. Let us start book summary video. The Open Society and Its Enemies is a seminal work by the Austrian philosopher Karl Popper. The book, which was first published in 1945, is a critique of the totalitarianism of Plato, Hegel, and Marx, and a defense of liberal democracy. In the book, Popper argues that the open society, characterized by the principles of democracy, individual freedom, and the rule of law, is the only viable form of society, while closed societies, which are based on the principle of totalitarianism, are inherently unstable and oppressive. The book is divided into 2 volumes. In the first volume, Popper presents a historical survey of the development of Greek philosophy, focusing on the political ideas of Plato. Popper argues that Plato's political philosophy, which advocated for the rule of the philosopher king, was fundamentally flawed because it rested on the assumption that knowledge is attainable and that there exists a fixed and certain truth. According to Popper, this led Plato to reject the idea of democracy and to advocate for a closed society in which the philosopher kings would have absolute power. In the second volume, Popper extends his critique of totalitarianism to the political ideologies of Hegel and Marx. He argues that both Hegelianism and Marxism are based on the idea of historical inevitability, which holds that history is governed by laws that are predetermined and inevitable. Popper argues that this view is flawed because it denies the importance of human agency and the role of individual freedom in shaping history. He also argues that both ideologies are inherently oppressive because they justify the use of violence in the name of achieving their utopian goals. One of the key takeaways from the Open Society and Its Enemies is Popper's defense of liberal democracy. Popper argues that liberal democracy is the only viable form of society because it recognizes the importance of individual freedom and the rule of law. He contends that democracy is the only system that can provide a mechanism for peaceful change and that it is inherently self-correcting because it allows for the peaceful transfer of power. Another key takeaway from the book is Popper's critique of the idea of historical inevitability. Popper argues that the idea that history is predetermined and inevitable denies the importance of human agency and individual freedom. He contends that this view is inherently oppressive because it justifies the use of violence in the name of achieving a predetermined goal. One of the strengths of the book is its historical analysis of the development of Greek philosophy. Popper's critique of Plato's political philosophy is a nuanced and detailed analysis of Plato's ideas, and it provides a compelling argument against the idea of the philosopher king. Another strength of the book is Popper's defense of liberal democracy. Popper's argument that liberal democracy is the only viable form of society is well-reasoned and well-supported, and it provides a strong rebuttal to the arguments of those who advocate for totalitarianism. However, there are also some weaknesses in the book. One of the criticisms leveled against Popper's argument is that it is too narrowly focused on the political sphere and that it neglects the economic and social structures that underpin society. Some critics have argued that Popper's defense of liberal democracy fails to take into account the ways in which economic inequality and social oppression can undermine democratic institutions. In conclusion, The Open Society and Its Enemies is a landmark work in the field of political philosophy. Popper's critique of totalitarianism and defense of liberal democracy are still relevant today, and the book provides valuable insights into the nature of democracy and the dangers of totalitarianism. While there are some weaknesses in the book, its strengths outweigh its weaknesses, and it remains an essential text for anyone interested in the history of political thought and the future of democracy. Thanks for watching. Amazon purchase link is in description, do check it. If you like this book review, do like this video and subscribe to Bookworm YouTube channel for freshly brewed content.